Good day to everyone. Today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin's recent price action, looking at its Bitcoin dominance chart, its CME futures chart, take a look at EOS, and some news. Stay with us. Okay, so on the Bitcoin daily chart now, looking at our descending triangle. We did have a video on this about a week ago. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description to that video, so you can go ahead and look on how long we've been paying attention to this pattern develop. More importantly, moving on, we did have in our last video price consolidating on this 100 moving average. I did say I believe we were going to have price action come up and test the bottom of this trend line. Okay, because every time we did have price action around it, we had a strong consolidation. Several days here, again in this area, till we had the buyers come in, take the price action to the upside. We had a rejection off this moving average, again a retest of the trend line, ultimately a failure and consolidation on this 100 moving average. So when we did come up and we did not get up to this trend line, we had a rejection on the 50 moving average. I was fairly confident at that point that we were going to get down to this level around 9480, the bottom of this triangle, to at that point take a long position, or at least think about one. But I did go ahead and take a position at that point. I got in at a level that I was comfortable with, and I'm just going to see how that continues to go. But I do have a hedge set up right under 9,000 or so. I do have a little leverage short that if price action does break down, I believe it'll be quite impulsive. I'll try to catch that on the way down and accumulate some BTC for the next time that it does come up. But for now, I'm not really favoring that scenario. I am thinking we're going to have some bullish action here, since this trend line came up to be very strong support. And I'll show you the reason why my thinking. Going back, again, the 100 moving average is always a strong moving average. Anytime price action is above or below it, it's significant to the price. Okay, again here back in 2017, we had our parabolic run. And again, price action respected it and stayed above this 100. Again, we had a nice run here. But when price action did come down to the 100 eventually, we had our consolidation. Ultimately, price did reject. We came down quite impulsively. Passed right through the 200 moving average. Finally did find support around 5,900 or so, and had a V-shaped recovery, and price action took up to the upside. Okay, and again, that was during our run, the first time that we had price consolidation. And looking at this area, it's price action carried out differently. We had our consolidation, we had the failure of the 100 moving average, but we did not break down to the 200 as we did that time. So what that tells me is that this trend line is very strong support, and I'm just going to continue my assessment on that till something changes. But as for right now, I'm just comfortable with my long, and I'm just going to see where price action goes from there. But I would like to take a look at the 1 hour. Let's zoom in to get some recent price action. Okay, and again, we had our failure of that trend line. We found support on this trend line, horizontal trend line that goes back quite a few years. Price action consolidated quite a bit. We had the buyers try to keep price action above the moving averages. Ultimately, we had a failure over here after a couple wicks. Sellers took the price action down and said that's where it's going to go before we head back up. And right now, we just have our consolidation around this area. I am a little concerned, not concerned, but just something I'm taking a look at. We have this rising channel that's came into play. So those tend to break to the downside, as we know. But that's fine. We could come up a little more, consolidate, maybe break down to this bottom trend line again. And we'll see how strong the support is if it does do that. But again, we'll just see how price action goes. But we might come down, retest, and then take price action back to the upside. So again, we'll just see how Bitcoin wants to take its price action from here. And let's go ahead and take a look at our Bitcoin dominance chart. Okay, so this dominance chart, it's on the weekly scale just to get a good look at it. I have again this rising channel which price seems to be respecting very well. Okay, and I have our Fibonacci extension set up. Okay, last video we went through price action, had some resistance at the 618, which is very normal. Dropped back down to the 9 exponential moving average, and now we popped back up to the top of this channel, and we have price consolidating over here. I did say we have price action a little above the 618. We'll probably have some more upside due to just how weak the alts are looking and the price action that Bitcoin was having. I felt we were going to have some more upside. And again, you can see here we had a little rejection at the 0.786, and again we have price action just traveling. Again, these things tend to break to the downside, so continue just to watch. I'm concerned. Not concerned, I'm just watching to see how price travels when we get to this Fibonacci area. We just zoom into the 12-hour here. Okay, so we have price consolidating and just tightening up. We don't have price consolidating on the 618 Fibonacci level here, which would be more towards the bearish end of things. It's consolidating near the top of this channel, so that's looking good for some more bullish action. And I want to see if we reject over here, if we travel maybe into this channel and continue onward. So again, I'll just continue to look at that chart and see how that goes. But let's take a look at the CME chart. Okay, so we have the Bitcoin CME chart here, and let's just look at the daily just so we could get a little more information. On this chart, I do have the Fibonacci retracement set up. Okay, so we can see here we did have this gap. Ultimately, it proceeded to be filled. We had this gap, proceeded to be filled. We still have this gap here around the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Okay, and again we had this gap, and again we had price action come to the downside and fill that gap. So again, we're not too far from this gap to be filled. It is a possibility. Again, we have our strong support here. Maybe we jump up to these moving averages up here, keep us in that descending triangle, and ultimately we might come and fill this gap. But we're just going to take a look at price action daily and take it as we go. So that's our CME daily chart. And let's go ahead and take a quick look over at EOS. Okay, so we're on the we're on EOS, the daily chart. And again, my level I was looking at for a while now was 29175. Okay, and let's just zoom into the 4-hour to get a better look at some price action. Okay, we were looking last time in our video, we did have this pennant. We had a breakdown, but no volume and no volatility really to go with it. We had a pattern that was developing that looked like it was ascending, but it did level off to this channel. And in our Discord, when that leveled off, I did post a chart, showing that it did level off. I know I was looking for a short, maybe around this area, the 3.9s, but we didn't get there. We had price action, come into play where the sellers took price action down. And, I didn't jump into that trade, and that's fine, because it wasn't where I was comfortable entering. So again, I'm just looking ultimately for our 29175 to be hit. At that point, I'll see about a position, leverage short, leverage long, or just looking to accumulate more at that point. So that was just a quick look at EOS, and that's how I'm still continuing to look at our 29175. Okay, and just for the news I wanted to look at, I'd like to start with just this one. Andreas Antonopoulos reveals juicy details about mastering Lightning Network book. In one of our last videos, we did touch on this, but there was nothing solid, no statements from Andreas himself. But it does go, look like he went ahead and made some statements on it. Antonopoulos promises to begin with baby steps so that the average Joe can grasp the basis of Lightning Network. Okay, everyone who picks up this book will be new to Lightning. It's a book for anyone who wants to understand Lightning from the beginning. So again, Andreas has come out with some information about Lightning. I'm sure there will be a lot of good insight into it, as well as some other things. So I will definitely pick up this book when it is available and take a look at what he has to say. Okay, and just another article I like to look at. This one is John Bollinger warns crypto traders about a major Bitcoin price move. Okay, he had a tweet here I believe from August 30th. It says we are coming into an important juncture of BTC USD and the important alts. The setup is not complete. We need more confirmation, but now is a good time to start thinking about how you will play the next move. Okay, so obviously someone his reputation, I'm going to keep that in mind and think that some strong moves are possible, and just keep that, as I said, in the back of my mind when I have any trades that I'm looking to take in the next coming days. Okay, so with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for today. I do wish you all well, good luck in your trading, and thank you for tuning into the Tavern.